Right, okay, time to build these Barbgaunts. So luckily push fit, so this should make things a lot simpler. We're going to start off by getting out number 1 and number 2. An interesting build, an expansion on the gaunt concept, but this time we have an artillery gaunt, which is a different approach entirely. The artillery Tyranids, whose name I cannot remember at this point, were always very big models, whereas these are obviously more of a gaunt pattern. I think it's important when Games Workshop does these kind of miniatures, though, that they pay homage to both models. So this is a kind of genetic combination of the two. I'd love to read more about the Barbgaunts because there's a good chance that it explains, their first sighting and things like that. It's so important to me as well that the Tyranids always change over time, that they don't always stay exactly the same because they are an aggressive organism that will alter based upon circumstance, which means if an enemy has worked out a tactic to defeat one particular type of Tyranid, they're not going to keep that creature. They're not going to keep that creature, keep making that creature. It just doesn't make sense to them. Right, what else have we got here? 3 and 4. Seemed quite an easy build. I was worried that I would have to split this over multiple videos, but don't think it's going to be that difficult. Where's number 4 when you want him, though? So I like that we've got new models. Interestingly, we're not getting any Barbgaunts in our combat patrol. We're getting Termagants, which is a shame because it's good to have that kind of fast-moving, almost like what you might call the cavalry of the Tyranids. But we did get Von Ryan's Leapers, which are a genetic combination of Lictors and Barbgaunts. So it's not like we don't have any specific hand-to-hand Tyranids. Then, of course, we've got the, that's weirdly, I've just realised here this looks like a webbing. An injection point that's kind of just in a weird place. Okay. And that's how simple this first one is. So as I said, I'll be very happy if I can build them all in a single video. I mean, that's only took me a few minutes. So let's get on to the second one, number 5 and number 6. See, there's some of these where they take absolutely ages to build. These like push fit kits, like the Infernus Marines, didn't take a very long time, but I felt that it was better to split that over multiple videos. Whereas these seem quite straightforward, quite a fast build. Speed my build up by just getting all the parts out for each model as I go, so I could literally just cut them all because they're so obvious, the positions that everything goes into. So I believe that these newer push fit kits are far better designed, particularly for building, than the ones from Age of Sigmar, which I personally found to be an absolute nightmare sometimes to put together. I've had videos where I've been doing them and I've literally had to completely stop and pause while I've worked out how to put something together, and still ended up with a horrible gap. So at least they've improved the quality of how the push fits go together in Warhammer 40k. Okay, and these new Leviathan are really cool. I think we get a Hive Tyrant, don't we, in the premium kit. I would have personally preferred the Screamer Killer, the more upright and aggressive hand-to-hand Carnifex. Did I mention that it's number 7 that I've just got out there? I don't think I did. I'm talking too much. Yes, so this is number 7. Okay, goes on these top ones here. Push in. Then get the leg out, number 8. Quite a dark day today as well. Oh, it's going to be a dull day all day in Merseyside. Right. Okay, again, there's such a quick build, these guys. There doesn't seem to be, you know, literally they all just seem to go together in a very similar pattern each time. And I'm pleased about that because, gosh, I really begrudge, oh, 9 and 10 by the way, like the Space Marine miniatures are a nightmare to put together, you know, by comparison, because they've all got slightly different poses, whereas these are, you know, they've got just the same basic pattern as they go together. Now, you can debate whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, you know, lack of variety. Personally, with Tyranids, I actually genuinely find that sameness is a good thing in individual models. I'm not saying across the whole range, but I think I really do love the way that the kind of, it's, if in some cases you'd say, gosh, it's lazy making things too similar, but when it comes to certain factions like Tyranids and Necrons, sameness is essential as part of the range. Lack of individuality, lack of originality, particularly on the smaller minis, is actually a positive thing. And it's strange to think about that, isn't it? So definitely, I'm pleased that these are all very similar in appearance. And you get your personality, for want of a better word. Number 12 and then number 11. Where's number 11? Over here. You get your personality from the larger ones and learning how to paint them in beautiful colours. Trying to get this just right, cleaned up without losing the detail. I love these things. They're so cool. I mean, I have to admit, there's something about this weapon as well. I'm looking at it, and I don't know if anyone else sees this. It reminds me, I can't remember. It feels like this is like a play on an older Tyranid design, but more than that, it reminds me of. I'm just going to get this right. It reminds me of the old style rocket launcher, missile launcher that Space Marines used to have, where it was shoulder mounted like that. Right, 13 now, and 13. Yeah, it reminds me of the old shoulder mounted rocket launchers that Space Marines used to have. You can actually get a variety of it for the Horus Heresy. 13 and where's 14? There's 14 up here. Trying to confuse me by being next to 17. Yeah, it does. When I look at it, it genuinely looks like that. And then when I think about it, I'm thinking to myself, why do I feel that I've seen a Tyranid with something similar on it? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe my member berries are acting up and I'm thinking I'm seeing something that I'm not seeing. I mean, it does happen now and then. But I swear in my head, it really feels like they've taken like an older Tyranid concept and then added it. I don't know. I could be wrong. There's a very good chance I am wrong. And that I'm just seeing what I want to see. But I have to admit, you know, it's got something that's triggering an old memory. 16 and 15. I think the other new type of gaunt that they've got as well is the Barbgaunts. And I'd like to see some of those. Someone told me that they were actually quite a small miniature, so a lot smaller than the other type. And they're not really a fighting miniature per se. They are a more about improving command of your Tyranids. They kind of act like a relay, which I like the idea of. But that would make him a hot target in a game where wiping out entire units is a, you know, gives you better victory condition, better victory points. I think how this one goes on here. There we go. It helps if I put things on the right way. I'm putting the wrong foot down. There we go. And we're on to our last one now. Yeah, this has been quite an easy set of builds, hasn't it? 17, 18. Right, 20 and 19 for the win. Thank goodness these have been an easy build, because I've got so much to get done today that actually, if I don't do some work on the house, I'm going to get disapproving looks from my wonderful and beautiful wife, who, you know, just expects me to do some stuff other than play games and paint all day. Okay. And there we have it. That is our Barbgaunts, all beautifully built and ready for painting. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.